Alright, welcome back to Soul Spark Tarot. I'm your host, Mr. Renew. And today we got ourselves a check-in message. These guys be normally quick. I know I've been promising other messages. So we're going to do a career message coming up. So with that being said, let's get going. Normally I like to yap first. So if you don't want to hear the yap session, go ahead and just skip ahead. But I do appreciate all your likes, your comments, your shares, all of those things. It inspires me, it keeps me going. If you ever have a request for a reading, please let your boy know. I will channel those messages. So without further ado, let's get to yapping. So what's up? What's up? How y'all doing? I hope y'all doing well. I believe there's a new moon coming up soon, right? And to be honest, I've been feeling overwhelmed as fuck. Overwhelmed, bro. And I've been trying to ground myself, but again, it's just little things that keep me ungrounded. And during this Mercury retrograde, I'm hoping that you guys are able to discover those things, bring them to the front of your awareness, and create a plan of action. Even if that's just praying every single day over you getting over whatever is blocking you, that is enough. But at the end of the day, it might not be enough for your ego. So make sure that you guys are able to really, really see yourselves as clearly as possible. And just because you don't take action, that doesn't mean you don't see. So please make sure there's a difference between those two things, because for me, and for instance, I keep desiring certain things, and when I go to practice those things, it turns into going into a classroom that you don't want to be in. It turns into and a lot of all the things you don't want to do. It's just a huge complaint over things that just don't interest you. And so I need help with that. I mean, honestly, I need help with certain things that just are so hard for me to even be interested in, but I desire them so much. So it's like, bro, pick one. Do you want it or not? And that's why I understand that there's a difference between a desire and a want. I understand that difference because that example right there, I desire certain things, man, so much. And I want to do things to get there. But then when I start to do the things to get me there, the lack of discipline pops up. So at the end of the day, this is what community is all about. And I'm hoping that somebody has some words for me. Uh, Again, I need y'all as much as y'all need me. But I'm hoping that we can help each other grow through the obstacles that we don't know how. So without being said, let's get this channeled message going. So what's our overall channel message? So we got the Page of Cups as our overall energy with the 9 at the bottom. So what this is screaming at me is there's an emotional imbalance within you. And in that emotional imbalance, you feel overwhelmed. You feel depleted. You feel just drained. And I feel like you have a cup, but because this cup has come, it's tainted. Okay, I'm getting tainted. This cup here is not satisfying you anymore. So you look at other things, other areas, and you might overindulge, you might self-indulge, you might literally decline yourself certain things, restrict yourself. And I think it's more so reshuffling. As unique beings, we must know how to reshuffle our being. And what that means is what we're being will determine who we are. So if we're being our thoughts, if we're being our emotions, if we're being our disciplines, if we're being our interactions, those things will alter who we present ourselves to be. So I believe that there's some emotions inside of us that is altering who we're trying to be versus the emotions that's lacking, which will help us become who we're trying to be. So let's get a little more. So the Six of Wands showed itself. There's a victory trying to come in, and I don't know if you have the capacity to really see it right now. When I say capacity, I leave that blanketed, and you can describe it as emotional, intellectual, physical, or actionable. It's up to you. One of those four modalities. For me, mine is emotional. I have an emotional thing that's going on because I can disregard certain emotions and I can proliferate others, and it's all pretty much predicated upon sleep. But it's a few other things too that I just don't understand about myself. So this is where other people come in. Again, I think that these things are very well known, but the idea is we have to start to become more aware of them within ourselves so we can start to see our interactions with others. You're great. You're doing great things. And I think there's something inside of you that's holding you back from fully stepping into your greatness. And so I'm thinking about a few people right now, and I would love to help them, but I can't get to them because I haven't gotten to me. And I have me. So I haven't let myself be given to by others. And I haven't received. But that's because I don't know what I should be receiving. And at this point, I think we need to be receiving ourselves. But part of ourselves is tainted, so we can't see that part. So again, if you're in an overindulgent or self-indulgent or a lack state, that part of you can't give to the rest of you because it's busy. So I think we're stepping into a time frame where we have to slow down and speed up. Paradox, right? Nope. We just need to understand the differences between what we got going on and reshuffle those aspects. We got to reshuffle them because at the end of the day, it's causing conflict within us and it's causing conflict within the things that we're planting. So I don't think that this five is a bad card. Again, it's showing me that we are overcoming these things slowly but surely. The idea is we are this person here who can knock out all the competition. It's just one thing, but it's been a slow burn. It's been a slow grind. And this aspect is the outcome, but what is causing us to be in this state? Again, what is leading us to this idea of being not tempered? What is causing us to feel contaminated? Well, there you go. That is fucking perfect. The fact that we have the Seven of Cups and this disillusions, it's like we don't know what emotional stimuli is healthy for us right now. Because we're changing, again, oh, sorry, I just got a little download. I pulled a card for myself from the change deck, and the change deck overall energy of the day was realizations and epiphanies. And the realization and epiphany card, it always comes in to show us things that we are missing. And so, in the case of the emotional aspect, this contamination, it's being contaminated by not being aware of what's good for us or what's bad for us. I think we're coming into a realization of what we need in this new era of our life. Again, taking the things that we want in the past and try to implement them in a new way and implement them in a way that we feel is mature, that still might not be the solution according to this seven card. This Seven of Cups, we've been managing these things, but now it's about time, I think, to dump them all away. I think it's time to get rid of this energy completely by not treating it as something we can manage anymore. We have to treat it as if it's not good at all for us. We have to not just cut it off. We need to replace it. We need to appraise it. We need to grieve it. We need to do all the things that we can to make sure that we are not losing ourselves in the loss of the emotions. Again, This person has his back turned towards us, right? The reason why is because it's focused on things internally. But the things internally are just desires and wants and manipulations and other people's and ego and all of those things. So we're in a cloudy state within our emotional state. In other words, we got a hurricane going on. We got a tropical rainstorm. We have a thunderstorm for some. We have light showers for others. This is the idea of what's going on, and it's clouding our minds. And the reason why our emotions are being so influenced is because our mindset has not been predicated upon what we want. It's predicated on what we are desiring. And because we have these desires, the problem comes into us not knowing what to fight for. And so, because we don't know what to fight for, this allows us to destroy it all or sit back. But we are slowly but surely understanding what we want to fight for. Those are the things we desire on this planet. These are the things that we're tempering, but what connects us? What's connecting us? What is taking our emotions that are clouded and distorted and disconnecting our mind from our body and our body from our mind, our heart, and contaminating our situation? What is the connector? Discipline, the masculine energy, taking charge, being being him, being her, being that dominant force in your life. So the issue here is that you haven't dominated this one thing in your life. I don't know why. I don't know why you allow it to happen. I don't know why you're choosing to let these things dominate you. I'm seeing it as the emperor, like a granddad who's tough, who's stern, who's hard on everybody, being softened up by a little baby granddaughter. That's how I'm seeing this. There is some little baby granddaughter energy that just got your heart, and it just makes you not who you are, and it takes you from being the emperor all the way down to a page. I don't think that's a bad thing, but I think, again, it just needs to be reshuffled. We need to reshuffle it. Let me see what the emperor is talking about. So the emperor is talking about things from the past. So you haven't put something to rest, and something hasn't been put to rest. You don't want to actually put something to rest. You're craving something from the past. You desire something from the past. You wish you had it. You only want it, and yet there's something about it that's stopping you from moving forward. You thought you put a rest on there. You thought you put it to sleep. You thought you hung up your trophies and was like, I'm good, I'm going to retire. But there's something about this thing in the past that's creating this mushy, gushy space within you that is causing everything else to shift out of place. You're waiting on something from the past to pop up, but in reality, it ain't. To me, this is showing that it's already been retired. You can't come out of retirement. So it's like I'm thinking of Tom Brady right now. If you know who Tom Brady is, he's the best quarterback ever. And Tom Brady, he says, I think on an article or something, he was saying how he thinks the level of elitism inside of the football world at the quarterback position is lackluster. He says the level of elite is just subpar. He doesn't think that there's enough elite players. I mean, obviously that's coming from the GOAT. But the idea is you're waiting on something that you can't do anymore. Tom Brady has already came out of retirement once. He can't do it again. He's done. But if he reshuffles what he has going on, now he's waiting on a new area that can come in and allow him to express and be that GOAT once again. So he's an analyst now. So he took his football information, he took his skills from on the field, and he's placing them off the field in order to allow his expertise, his skill set, his knowledge, his experience, all of those things that the emperor would have. He's allowing those things to be placed within a new space. And because he has it in a new space, he has a new opportunity to make newness, new energies. And these new energies can come in at the same highest level as he used to play at. So, I think the idea behind what is going on right now is we're waiting on something and it's causing us to be in a disillusioned state. We're waiting, and I think you have to wait. So we're learning patience, but you're waiting and you want certain things to happen right now, and you can't get it right now. So you have to reshuffle something that will connect you to where you want to go. You want to bridge the gap, but it's hard to bridge a gap where, and essentially, the gap starts from the past. So if you don't have anything of the past with you around you, you can't connect to the past in order to lead you to the future. So guess what? You stay in disillusions and you feel conflicted, and then this king, all of these seeds you've been sowing, these things that are beautiful and fruitful that want to grow, that you want to harvest, that's ready to be harvested, it can't come out because something is contaminating it. There's something fucking it up. And I think it's not just time, it is the energy and efforts placed in the current time frame as we wait for the new things to come. In other words, Tom Brady has probably been wanting to talk football and be an analyst for a very long time, but the season just began. The man's been retired for, I think, over a year now. So he has spent like 20 years of his life doing one thing, and then the first time where he can't do it, he has to still not do it. That's going to fuck people up. That's going to have you in a very conflicted state. You have been doing something for so long on a routine basis, and now you just not going to do it? You just can't do it? That is the problem. And so because you have these things of the past that have just been sticking with you and allowing you to be who you are, allowing you to see yourself grow, allowing you to be this great aspect of who you are right now, but you can't use it. So guess what? You're waiting on the new things to come in so you can feel useful. So you can feel in the right spot. So you can know that you're on the right path. But guess what? You got to be patient. Tell me about this 7. Oh, tell me more, tell me more. How, I mean, what do you do with this? What can I do with this? This says temperance with the 2 of Pentacles. Aren't these exactly the same thing that's happening? You have to temper your emotions right now, and you got to temper your physical world right now. That's it. Physical changes, emotional changes. Both of these things need to be balanced right now. And that is what is coming in right here of this 7 of Cups. Again, you got the emotions that are steering you up because they're from the past, and you got a new cup that's leading you to the future. But then the 6 of Cups tells us, I like the shit from the past. The 7 of Cups says, I don't know what's in this new cup moving me towards the future. You just don't know. You don't know what actions to take. So the advice is to balance yourself, to look at what you've been disciplining and see if you need that discipline or not. To see if you need to replace it and change it and exchange it. To see if these things are emotionally balancing you or not. What part of this is allowing you to be yourself, and what part of this is forcing you to be not a part of yourself? To dissociate from who you are in this present moment. What part of this disillusion is allowing you to feel disconnected from you? That is the question you need to be asking yourself as you're relating to these things of the past, looking for this contaminated cup. There's one part in you that just is not working for you right now, and you want it to work for you, but you're learning that it is never going to work for you. And again, Tom Brady is never going to go back to the NFL to play as a quarterback. He has to deal with that. And that's a common thing if you switch a career, if you have a divorce from a marriage, if you break up from a friend group, if you have to get a new car, if you change a job. It's very common to have that period of null. If you don't know what null is, a statistical null, go study that because we live in an aleph null. Again, it sounds like I'm speaking Latin, but these are mathematical terms that you can understand. So, aleph null, N-U-L-L, that is what we live within. Because we don't have these things in our present mind, we have to understand they might be in our actions, they might be in our hearts, or they might be with the interactions of people. Again, if it's not in our mind, we have to go and find where this part of us is. And we need to see why it's there and don't hate on it. We need to say, I fuck with you. You've been here. You've been great. I love you. But where are you going to be next? Again, Tom Brady loves football. He loves it. But he can't play it no more as what he's done before. So what does he need to do? He needs to find that love and find a new home for it. But he can't just say, I'm going to do this. He's not Joe Klatt. Sorry, these are other people who do sports and radio talk. I'm just giving examples. You can't just jump into something and be people who's been doing it for 20 years. You might be qualified, you might be talented, you might have a whole lot of experience. But I'm sorry, Grandpa, you are a first-time grandpa. You are a first-time grandpa right now. You've been a dad a lot of times over, but you've never been a grandpa. Or maybe you've been a grandpa, but you've never been a girl grandpa or girl granddaddy. This is your first baby girl now. So you have to understand that you can't do the same things, but you can use the same things that you have in a new way. Recycle. You have the knowledge and you already know, and you've already kicked ass and shown that you've known. I think what it is just you don't realize that you are already there. I don't think you realize where the piece goes or which piece needs to be switched. I don't think you know that, but you do know that. You got the answer. You're shining light on what you're tempering. What it actually is the things that you're doing, you just haven't seen them in the right way. You're already putting the pieces in the right spot, but you don't see yourself as placing them in the right spot. I think maybe you're stopping yourself from fully jumping into something. Maybe you're doing it little by little, like with these cards, like with this advice. I'm doing it little by little, but some of my favorite readers, they put out 3 or 4 videos a day. And I'm sitting here barely struggling to get the one, but then I go off and I have anxiety about all the things that I desire, all the things that I want, when I can easily sit here and talk. Because I want to talk to people, I want to help people, I want to connect to people, I want to advise people. So why aren't I putting out 3, 4, 5 videos a day? Oh, because then it jumped into another aspect of myself of I need these other things over here. I need those things over here. And now you start looking at why this is becoming a problem, because the emotional aspect tells us I need this, I need that, I need that, I need this. When the actions and the discipline says if I continue to put in the work, I will have it all. That is what the King of Pentacles does. It doesn't matter. He just does the work every day. But now it's looking like we need to amplify the things that we want to do, that we want to see, and we need to decrease on the things that we don't want to do and we don't want to see. Even if it appears as something that we need to do. The need to do is coming from the past. You needed to do that. Past tense, ED. You've already had the education on that need already. You know what's going on with it. I don't know why it's stopping you though. I don't know why it's holding you back though. I don't know why it can't propel you forward. We got all the things on here, all the information on here, but a mindset. The mindset is at the foundation. So I think the reason why is because you haven't put your mind on it in the right way. We got rods, we got a few pentacles, we got cups, we got the golden rod, again, which is, and the emperor. These are super duper powerful energies. But for some reason, our brain can't get there. And I think it's because our brain is clouded with the emotions. So there are some emotions that is making our brain chemistry fucked up. Again, this is our foundational energy. We've already destroyed the competition. But there's something around in your mind that's stopping you from being that newfound emperor. And I think it's just something new. I don't think you are allowing yourself to fully approach the thing that is new in a new manner. You gotta come in with a more brand new mindset. That doesn't mean you jump into a baby. Again, this granddad already has grandchildren, but they've all been boys. And now he has his first grandchild who is a girl. He can't do the same things as he's been doing. Boys are going to be boys. They're going to continue doing the same old thing. He can get a whole bunch of his grandkids in line with his businesses, his kids, his other sons. All of those things can do the same things. But now this granddad all of a sudden has to start playing with baby dolls and shit. That's going to be different. And it's going to take time for you to understand that. Just like Tom Brady is going to be around all of these football players, even some of his old teammates. He can't just go out there and practice with them and make them better like he used to. Now he has to judge them and analyze them. And hopefully convey that in a way that is entertaining and people want to watch him. But people want to watch the GOAT and hear what he got to say because he is the best of all time. He's the greatest of all time, GOAT. But he still has to wait for that reflection. He has to wait for that information. He has to wait for that review. We got to give him a whole season first, and then we can say whether he did good or not. We can't go game by game. Every game isn't the same. Give this guy a couple of years and we'll see. So, guess what? Give yourself a couple of more days. Give yourself a couple of more weeks. Give yourself a couple of more months. Give yourself a couple of more years. Give yourself some grace. Allow yourself to be great. Allow yourself to make the changes even if they're slow. Take the time to develop the patience for the things that are changing in your life. Take the time to appreciate the time because the times have changed. What's our final message? Justice. Justice over the devil. So, with the Ace of Pentacles splitting, what this tells me is that this here has been a long time coming. And notice, this is the first real sword card that we have. The first real sword card that we have is coming in a major arcana. The major arcana comes in with the sword, similar to the Queen of Swords. She's open, but she's telling you that I'm going to cut you off if you try something weird. Justice card says, I don't care if you're weird. I don't care if you're not weird. The scales will show who and what needs to be cut. This is already giving me anxiety. It's already, because I'm starting to proliferate the things that I know I need to cut out. And it just makes me feel like the devil and want to go do it anyway. That's it. The next time we get it, let me show you. So the fact that this here popped up like this, you see this? You see this? This is exactly justifying everything that I'm saying. The stars on here, but I'm trying to cover it. This Ace of Pentacles, this new opportunity, you have anxiety about it because you just don't know how to use it yet. But then you're going to get somebody going to give you a tip. Maybe you're going to get a start. Maybe you're going to get some kind of influence. Maybe you're going to get some kind of support. Something on the outside of you is going to come in and help you, and that's going to change all your emotions. And once all your emotions change, then you'll have the balance of the justice, and you'll be able to present things in a logical way, in a balanced way, in a way that helps you understand. But what are you understanding? It's allowing you to understand your stardom. It allows you to understand who you are, but in a new space, in a new environment. It will allow Tom Brady to realize that just because he's not throwing the football as the GOAT doesn't change the fact that he's not throwing these numbers and these analytics as the GOAT. He's going to be throwing out numbers in a way that helps him understand so much about himself. And that should give him a newfound mindset. A mindset that will say, I got the opportunity. I'm nervous. I got anxiety. I'm worried. I'm anxious about the opportunity. He's going to get a little bit of feedback. And that little bit of feedback is going to give him a brand new emotional state. And now the GOAT of the football world is going to be the GOAT of the analytical world. But he's not going to do anything outside of being who he is. He's not just going to be the GOAT. He's going to be the GOAT regardless of how he feels or how he thinks or what numbers he scored or any of those things. Why? Because he's going to realize that there's different types of pressure. He doesn't need to throw an interception to be in the newspaper or in the articles about having a bad day. That's irrelevant now. He's not throwing interceptions anymore. He's going to be doing analytics, and he's going to be conveying what he wants, and it's okay to not be right because he does not control who's actually playing the game. He's controlling what he thinks about the game and its potential. So because he's looking at potentialities now, because he has the potential to do bad or to do good, he has the potential to be balanced inside and outside of the negativities and the positivities. So guess what? He doesn't even need to worry about whether he's doing good or bad. He just needs to give. And people are going to love that. That means the ratings are going to go up. He is realizing he doesn't need to be in the control seat. His control is the seat. And the seat that he is in of control is his knowledge. And it's not whether it's you agree or you don't agree. The knowledge is I'm speaking. And that is what a rating would be for the TV analytics, which would be the same for the game-to-game analytics that he's going to provide about these quarterbacks who's playing and then the offenses that are playing. He has a wonderful opportunity to come in and see himself as a grand scale. But the scale does not operate the same as the micro scales. We're not judging Tom Brady on the number of passing yards anymore. We're not judging him on the number of interceptions or touchdowns or games he's winning. We're judging him not whatsoever upon anything related to football. We're only judging him based upon if we agree with what he's thinking about the football now. So, I'm going to see that as an opportunity for me to go ahead and end this reading. I feel like I need to get one more message out for us. What is our final message to the final message? Perfect. That's our first swords card to actually come out. It's the 10 of swords in reverse. You're rising. So allow yourself to rise. Allow yourself to rise. Allow yourself to step into the space that is not going to judge you the same way. And allow your brain to come out of this hurtful state. Allow your brain to change. Allow yourself just to change a little bit. Your mindset just to change a little bit. Just a little bit. Why? Because it'll allow all of these swords that will kill you, the pressures of Tom Brady needed to go out there and win and be the GOAT all the time, day in, day out, to be the best at practice, to watch the most film. All of those pressures, allow them just to slide out of you. Allow all the pressures of only having boys doing the same thing over and over and over, and now you got a girl and you don't know what to do. You got to shop at different places and worry about different things. Allow those things to slowly slip into your mind as a benefit, and the benefit comes from the idea of I no longer have to worry about these certain things. I get a fresh start, a brand new opportunity to step up and become something new in a way that won't even judge me the same way. People are going to either agree with me or not. And that is a judgment on my mind and not me as a person, as a player. So allow yourself to be brand new and to judge yourself in a new way too. So go get the help that you need and go see the help outside of yourself as the help within yourself. All right. Peace.